Welcome back to HIM Tutorials as digestive system is going on under the main heading Nutrition in Animals, and today our learning objective is to learn about the tongue first, and the second objective which we are going to achieve today is about the pharynx. What is the location, what is the diagram, and what is the function of the pharynx. So let's begin with the tongue first. As if I draw a structure of tongue, so it looks like something like this. And on the tongue, there is presence of V shape and many kind of papillae are there on the tongue. So tongue is also called as the lingua. It is the highly muscular organ of the body. It is the strongest muscle of the body, and as it is highly muscular and it can easily revolve inside our mouth and inside the buccal cavity, but still its motion is controlled by a special type of a slit of tissue that is called as frenulum. And you can see, if you look into the mirror and you will just do your tongue like this, you will see a slit, a tissue that is attaching the tongue with the floor of the buccal cavity. Also, this tongue is having many projections on it, many irregular surfaces on it, and they are called as the papillae. Also called as the lingual papillae. And this tongue is voluntary in action because it is made up of skeleton muscles. They are not bony, but and actually the tongue is not attached to the bone, so it is having this highly muscular nature in it. So as I told you that the papillae which are present on the surface of the tongue, that are divided into 4 categories. What are they? The first one are the circumvallate papillae, second one are the foliate papillae, third one, which are present in numerous in number, they are the filiform papillae, and the last one, which are not many but still they are the fungiform papillae. So if we go for the structures of the papillae, then you will see that circumvallate is the biggest of all the papillae, and it is bigger in size and they are very few in number. And if you see your tongue in the mirror, you will find that at the point where our tongue is just attached to our buccal cavity, at the last point you will see little larger one of the parts and larger one of the papillae, and they are the circumvallate papillae. Foliate papillae, they are of almost having this kind of folds in it, so that's why it is called as the foliate papillae, and it is on both the sides of the tongue. Circumvallate is something this like. This is the circumvallate, and the filiform papillae is having almost this like of thread-like structures in it, and they are numerous in number. They are the smallest one and they are the numerous in number. The fungiform is somewhat like the shape of the mushroom, as fungi word means something that is related to the fungus, and fungus is what? They are the microorganisms, and they are related to the you can say that fungus is the microorganism and they are related to somewhat structure of mushroom. So they are the 4 types of the papillae which is present in our tongue. Also, I want to add here that the papillae, if we go for a single structure of a papillae, any kind of papillae you can take. So the main function of the tongue is to taste the food, give us the food which we are eating, what kind of taste it has. It was just identified by the help of these papillae, because each papillae has got taste buds on it. What they had got? They have got taste buds on it. So if I draw a diagram of a papillae, so I told you that this is the papillae, and in each papillae there is projection like structures, and these projection like structures are called as taste buds. And if I draw one taste bud, if I draw this much of section, it would be like this. And inside this, there is presence of some long columnar cells, and they have got nerves in their endings, and these nerves will give signal to the brain. As our tongue is just covered with saliva, this is the layer of saliva, and the tongue has got papillae on them. So each papillae has got taste buds, number of taste buds on the tongue, and each taste bud is having this type of structure, and on the open part, the part which is open to the upside, that is having certain kind of receptors, and they are called as the chemoreceptors. These are the chemoreceptors. They help us to find out the taste of the food which we are eating. And when anything we eat that mixes with the saliva, because food releases the chemical, and that chemical when detected by the chemoreceptor, then chemoreceptor will send signal to the brain with the help of these nerve cells, and the brain will help us to identify the type of taste. So there are 4 types of taste which our tongue can identify. They are, first is sweet, second is sour, third is salty, and the fourth one is bitter. Again, if I draw here, you will find that bitter is somewhat in this area, sweet you are going to taste in this area, and salty and sour you are going to taste in this area of the tongue. So this area is having taste buds for the sweet. This area has the taste buds for the salty and sour, and this area has the taste buds for the sweet. Sorry, this is for the bitter, and this is for the sweet. So 4 types of taste our tongue can detect. So there is one more, actually it is not taste, but it is a sensation on our tongue, and that is spicy. Many people like to eat spicy food. So this spicy is something like that which is not a taste, but when we eat some spicy food, like we eat chili, or we like anything that will make some sensational vibration in our on our tongue. So what they done, they just come on the tongue along mixes with the saliva, and that time these taste buds, because the tongue is covered with the taste buds. So this spicy food just make an inflammation. You can say a burning sensation on these taste buds. They got little bit swollen, and if we eat more spicy food in a continuous manner, it will lead to more swelling of those taste buds. So it is not a taste. Many people thought that spicy is also a taste, but spicy is not a taste. We have only 4 tastes, that is sweet, sour, salty and the bitter. So this is all about the basic structure of the tongue which is present in our mouth. It is a highly muscular organ, and it is attached with the buccal cavity with the help of a slit that is called as the frenulum, and it has number of tiny projections on it. They are called as the papilla. Actually, the papilla has thousands of taste buds in it, and here you can see the different types of papillae: the circumvallate, the foliate, filiform, fungiform. From which circumvallate, the largest one, they are on the back side, as they are forming the V shape on your tongue, and you can see easily if you try to identify them on the tongue in front of mirror, you can see them easily. Then foliate papillae are there, they are the folding ones. Filiform, they are the most abundant one, and also they are the smallest from all the 4, and fungiform papillae are also there. So 4 type of taste can be detected by the tongue. Also, if I go for the diagram of a single taste bud, then you can see that each taste bud has these hairy like structures, and they are the chemoreceptors. They will help in find out the taste, and when the chemoreceptors find out the taste, they send message to the nerve cells, and nerve cells send message to the brain, and then our brain will identify that what kind of taste we are having in a food. So this is all about the tongue. Now the question is that what is the function of the tongue? So if I go for the functions of the tongue, so the most important function of the tongue is that it helps in mixing of the saliva with the food. So mixing of saliva with food. Second main function is that they help in finding out the taste of the food. Third is it helps, the tongue is also act as a natural cleaner of the teeth. It is also a natural cleaner of the teeth. Next, most important is that it helps in speech. It helps us to talk. While talking, if the tongue is not present in our mouth, we are not going to pronounce even a single word properly. So it also creates a good speech when we talk. The 5th part is that along with the speech, tongue also helps in one more important work, that is the swallowing of the food. What is that? Swallowing of the food. So these are the 4-5 things which are very important and functions of the tongue, and without this tongue we can't go for all the functions, and each function is very important for the easy digestion of the food. So this is all about the tongue, and now we will discuss about the second main objective of the day, that is the pharynx. So as we know that pharynx is also a very important part of the digestive system. Along with it, not only it helps in digestive system, but pharynx you can also found in your respiratory system. When we will study the respiratory system, we will study pharynx again over there. So many people think that pharynx is a part of respiratory system, but actually it is the part of both digestive system also and respiratory system also. So let's go for the diagram of the pharynx. If I draw a simple diagram, So this is your nasal chamber. This is your buccal cavity, and something like this is your, this part is the pharynx part, and it will lead to go in two pipes. So if I label this diagram, this is your nasal chamber, this is your buccal cavity, this part is your pharynx. This is your trachea, and this is your esophagus. Also the esophagus, we have discussed earlier also that esophagus is also called as food pipe, and the trachea is also called as windpipe. It will go to the respiratory system, and this esophagus, which is called as the food pipe, it will go to the digestive system. On the windpipe, there is presence of a flap-like structure. This flap-like structure is present over here, and along this, with this flap-like structure, there is one round structure is also here. So this flap-like structure is called as epiglottis, and this round structure is called as glottis. Now what is the function of pharynx? The function of pharynx is to carry air and food, both. This pharynx will carry, because air is coming from the nasal chamber and the food we are eating from the buccal cavity. So both the things, food and water, they both going from this common passage, and that is called as the pharynx. Now what will happen? Because there are chances that when we are eating food, so both the passages are very close to each other, and they are just opening from the one common attachment. They are attached to the one common attachment. So it is possibility that food might enter into the trachea or in the windpipe, and it will go to the respiratory system. But for instance, what is happening here, that the food which we are eating, as it comes along this junction, this attachment, the epiglottis is a flap-like structure, and it will just close up. It closes, and it just when it closes up, the trachea, the windpipe, closes for a second or for a very short time, and the food, which is in form of bolus. What is food? Food is in form of bolus. We will discuss what is bolus. Food is in form of bolus, and that food will immediately enter into the esophagus and enter into the stomach. We will discuss this later on. So I hope you understand that what is going on. The food is coming from the buccal cavity, chewed by the teeth, mixing with the saliva, with the help of salivary glands from the pharynx. It will come, and soon the epiglottis will just close its lid over the glottis, and the food will enter as a bolus into the food pipe. So this is the main function of the pharynx. Along with it, the pharynx is also of three types, as this part has got larynx. Now what is larynx? Larynx is also called as voice box. We are talking, you can hear my voice, so my voice is audible to you due to the function of this larynx. This is called as the voice box. So the pharynx has three parts as nasopharynx, oropharynx and the laryngopharynx. Larynx, so I think it is not tough for you to learn also. Larynx part is the laryngopharynx, nasal part is the nasopharynx, and buccal cavity is also called as the oral cavity, so it is oropharynx. So here it is clear that what the pharynx is doing. Pharynx is just providing the air and food both to the body, and it is a common passage for the both. The air enters into the windpipe and food enters into the oesophagus, and it will lead from oesophagus into the stomach. So here I have given you the term bolus. What is bolus? The food which we eat and our teeth will help in chewing it, and the salivary glands will secrete saliva, and the tongue will mixes the chewed food and the saliva with each other, and the complex food is transformed into a simple form, a very thick paste like structure, that is called as the bolus. So what is bolus? Bolus is the thick paste like structure, because this thick paste we can easily lead to swallow, and when we swallow it, it will easily move into our oesophagus, and from the oesophagus by different processes it will reach into our stomach. So I hope you understood that what is tongue, as it is a highly muscular organ and it has 4 kinds of papillas on it, and it has number of taste buds, and taste buds are having chemoreceptors. They will just identify the chemical which is present in the food, and the signal was given from the taste buds through the nerve cells to the brain, and brain will help us to identify the type of food we are eating. So 4 kind of taste buds are there, as they can give us bitter taste, sweet taste, sour taste and salty taste. But spicy is not a taste, it is just an inflammation on the taste buds. And in case of pharynx, pharynx function is to provide the air and food both to enter the air. It helps in entering the air and food both inside the body. So to avoid the entry of food into the windpipe, the epiglottis is present, and epiglottis is just like a operculum, or you can say it is like a lid which closes up, and the food as a bolus enters into the esophagus. So I hope you understood all the topic, both the objectives are clear to you. So tomorrow in our next session we will learn about the esophagus and the stomach. So till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you so much.